losing ourselves in this electrifying game. We're drifting down, we feel it so alive. With every move we make, we're gonna take this time. With his music taking over the world. No limits or boundaries, we'll let our dreams unfurl. The rhythm is the heartbeat. It's running through our veins. We're PHred music. We're gonna make it rain.
Unmuted. Yes, folks, it's Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm Fred McMurray, and it's time for Lunch with Lynn with the hostess with the mostest, Lynn Lionhood. Take it away, Lynn.
Yes, glad it's today. I absolutely love it. We're going to have a really good show, and I want to welcome Lynn and Gigi because they kind of sneaked in the back door here on me. I want to make sure they're welcome. Guys, if you don't know it, please use the chat. Make sure you put all of your information in there so that people know how to reach out to you. Be sad if somebody had a lead for you today and they wanted to call you and there was no phone number. Or it would be sad if they're a person who likes to email and your name and your stuff is not in there as far as your email. So at least give me an email address, a name and phone number. All the other good stuff you want to put in, please stick it in there. We'd be very glad to have all of that. So I see two people who are with us for shorter periods of time today. So hi, Rob. How are you? Excellent. So
hello, I'm doing fine.
Hello. So I want to make sure that everybody knows, for the new people, they don't know that I always ask everybody a question. When you're doing your introduction on who you are, everybody gets a question, but the question is the same for all of you. It's not a right or wrong answer. It's a conversation starter. That's all it is. So I want you guys to tell me, just give me an example of one red flag in life that you should be looking out for. If you were giving advice to somebody who was 18 or 19 about life, what would you tell them was a red flag they should look out for? So there are my sponsors. Okay, that's good. So guys, we're going to get started with all of you right now because we have a lot of fun things to do. This is a 2-hour program. For those of you who stick with us, about an hour and a half into it, you will all get to know each other a little bit. And then I'm going to put you guys in a breakout room, one-on-one with someone for 5 minutes. It always happens that I have to drag people out of those rooms. They don't like to leave them. They're having a good time by that time. I do give you a second opportunity to speak with somebody one-on-one. And then we'll go into some talking about some really great conversation where it's interactive between all of you at the end of the program. So for right now, I'm going to get some people started with some introductions because Deanna Brakefield doesn't want to go first. So I'll do some introductions and then I'll make her go first. How about that? That doesn't literally mean she's first, right? So I'm hoping that Anita and Alexis and Arlene, why is it all the women with the A names are all like in the witness protection program? Their names are up there and I can't see their faces. This is the post office. Show me a face. So there she comes. One is up. Alexis and Arlene, who's going to get the last seat now? So we're going to start with some introductions, and I will let Denise Lanson go first. Denise, please give us some information about Denise. The next minute is yours.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Denise Lanton. My clients call me Coach D. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in mindset and mental toughness. I will be very soon having a radio show, compliments to PHred McMurray, and I'm so happy, looking forward to that. My work is primarily with coaching athletes and executives in a tough mental mindset. I do that in a collaboration with my clients. We develop strategies and techniques and take actionable steps to kind of map out our goals to success and really redefine their responses to life challenges and events. And as I said, I'm so excited. My upcoming show is titled True Grit, the Mindset in the Grind.
Did you tell everybody where you're from?
I'm sorry. I'm from Chicago, but I live in the south suburbs now, Orland Park, Illinois.
If you were going to give advice to someone, Dan's sorry. If you were going to give somebody advice, what is a red flag you would tell them to look out for?
It's a combination. One, it's if you're comfortable, you're not progressing. So get off your ass and get off the couch in order to move. And the second one is trust your instincts.
Beautiful. Good advice. Good red flags to watch out for. Thank you very much. Here's the other Lynn. And I think, Lynn, I did not know that you had to leave early the last time, and everybody missed hearing from you. So nobody knows anything on this call about Lynn, so we need to hear it all in a minute.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I'm Lynn Schuster-Williams. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm a Reset It specialist. And I teach my clients in 2 affordable sessions a process based on neuroscience and quantum physics that allows them to reset what doesn't belong to them and get out of their own way. I also produce the Be More Conference for Women, a twice-a-year online virtual conference that's coming up September 28th and 29th at bemoreconference.com. And Lynn, just this week, I launched a new project called Flow Working with Lynn, and it is beyond co-working. We learn how to work flow and ease and get stuff done. So I'm excited for that. You can find it at flowworkingwithlynn, LIN.com.
So what is the red flag that you could tell people to look out for in life?
So I would say the red flag I would tell my children and others to look out for is when you hear someone else's thoughts coming out of your mouth, right? Like when you hear your mom coming out of your mouth, when you hear your teacher, your professor, right? That's when you know that it's not you, it's your programming and conditioning that's you're letting determine how you're thinking, and to just be aware of that.
I do remember the day that I heard my mother come out of my mouth. It happened. Let me tell you, it was scary.
It's a common experience, I think. Yeah.
It's very scary. I said, I'm in trouble. PHred, you've had your hand up, and I kind of forgot to call on you, so you probably have 2 hands up now.
I have 2 hands up. One on Denise. She survived her appearance on PHred Prime Live last Saturday, as did Deanna, and they were hilarious. She's got a badass tattoo of, well, I think it's a stegosaurus, but she says it's a feather. And Lynn Schuster-Williams, yeah, she's just badass.
And is she going to be giving us a surprise with PHred Radio?
I'm waiting. That's what I hear. I know she's got to do a lot of reset it of stuff. But I'm expecting it. That's what I've been told.
I'm hoping. I've got my fingers crossed. Yay, baby. Excellent. Look at Howard. He already knows he's going to be on the hot seat. He knows it's coming. Get ready, Howard. I'm going to run to Melissa. Melissa, you're up next.
Hey, everyone. Well, my name is Melissa Raposo. I am originally from New York City, just relocated a few months ago to Connecticut. I'm a certified wealth educator with United Wealth Education. I'm sorry, get a little nervous. I'm put on the spot.
There's nobody here to get nervous about.
Okay, so I help, and I'm with the leading financial literacy company. We help individuals understand the fundamentals of financial literacy, credit building, credit restoration. We help renters become homeowners, the whole nine. So we try to bring more awareness to the community to understand what is credit. Money is not, they say cash is king, credit is power, and we embrace that. Back to you. Thank you.
Excellent. Absolutely wonderful. Howard, I'm going to make you wait. How's that feel? Now you just got to sweat it a little bit. And I'm going to make Deanna very happy because I'm not going to call on her next because she would be all nervous. So she's going to be super ready when I call on her. But I'm going to call on beautiful Arlene Santiago because I know that Arlene probably has people waiting, clients, and I don't want to tie up too much of her time. But I'm so honored she's here. Guys, when I start putting some information in the chat, you'll see that we have some specialty groups because some of my clients with Legal Shield are outstanding business people, so we have some of them in categories. And Arlene is in the health and wellness group. We are so honored she's in there. I mean, I've watched her help people, and it is amazing what she can do. So I want to share with you guys some information from her today. So Arlene, the next 5 minutes are yours.
Okay, wow, in right away. Thank you so much, Lynn. My name is Arlene Santiago, and I help those that are in chronic pain, have limited mobility, and I help them in a matter of minutes so they can get relief, so they can flow and move with ease. And in addition to that, I teach older classes for older adults, seated classes online. And what I'm going to be talking about today is emotional release. And that is releasing negative emotions from the body. So I'm just going to jump into a story, just a little bit about me as far as what happened to me when I was younger. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but when I was younger, and for 4 years of my life, I'd say from 6 to 10 years old, there was a time in my life where every single day, and this is kind of rough, I guess. I was hit every single day. I was told that I wouldn't really amount to anything, and there's more, but there's more. So I wouldn't amount to anything. That I wasn't smart, and I was ugly. And imagine yourself 6 to 10 years old hearing that every single day, being hit every single day, and what trauma that happens. So when I was younger, I built this wall around me, and it's like if something were to happen, it was just like, well, whatever. I'm a tough girl. I'm going to deal with it. But as I got older, I would get triggered. Can anyone agree if I've triggered with emotions, triggered with any type of event in your life? Yes. Everybody has this. And so those things that person had told me when I was younger would constantly come up. I am not enough. All these limiting, and so it would prevent me from doing things that I actually want to do. So I'm going to be talking about emotion code a little bit, and I'm going to be giving you tips as well to help yourself. But negative emotion release, this is called emotion code, and it's where I help identify and release the trapped emotions in your body that you have held on to for years, since childhood. How does that happen? Well, one, you thought you processed something and it just gets stuck in your body. You didn't process it enough. Or you couldn't deal with that emotion at the moment because you were too busy doing something else. So that emotion gets stuck and festers. And if we continue to let those things fester, they can turn into chronic pain and they can turn into disease down the line. Because things happen like stress. We all have stress. Stress combined and compounded over time, same thing. So how does this work? I use muscle testing. I use muscle testing, and I'm basically speaking to your subconscious, because your subconscious knows everything, right? Everything's automatic. And just to give you some perspective here of how this works. So I had somebody that just asked me, he's like, I'm having this problem sleeping. Okay, fine. So I will basically, I'm talking to her subconscious and telling me these negative emotions that happen. And after a few days, I asked her if she was sleeping better. She's sleeping better. Great. I'm washing my hands of it. I'm done. But now, like a month later, she texts me, I have had nightmares about my ex-husband for almost 20 years. And ever since I spoke to you, they're gone. Things can happen like that. You have the power within your body. So I know I don't have a lot of time, but things that you can do for yourself is just writing your thoughts down on paper. So letting it release and having a support, your friends, your family, or maybe there's just that one buddy that you can just, converse with, but also be kind to yourself. And what I mean by this, don't say should, because when you say should, you're wrong. You're telling yourself that you're wrong. Convert those shoulds to coulds. Okay, and every doorway you walk through, like Michael Phelps does, every doorway you walk through, say something positive. I'm done, I guess.
Arlene, do you want to tell them where you're from?
I am from outside of Chicago, outside of Chicago, Illinois, in the suburbs.
But I think you can work with anyone, anywhere. Is that correct?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. And Arlene, if you were giving advice to someone who was young, what is a red flag you would tell them to look out for in life?
Red flag to look out for? Your thoughts. I think your thoughts and your beliefs really have a trajectory to lead your life. So if you're not feeling good and you're saying bad things to yourself over and over again, you're going to believe that. So let's change the rhetoric in your mind so you can move forward. And be happy.
Arlene, I think what you started out your story with, it's so powerful because we all either have experienced or know someone that has had so much negative self-talk through their childhood, and that is awful. And I just don't think some parents know how much damage they are doing and how much will have to be undone by that child as they age. So that is really powerful. You're absolutely right. Negative self-talk is really hard to get out of when you begin to believe that that's the truth. But guys, I've met a lot of those people, and they are such wonderful people, but they have to be told that so that they can understand how truly wonderful they are. So thank you very much, Arlene, for all that you do. Appreciate you. Yay! I'm going to jump back into some of my introductions. We're going to go to the infamous Howard Larson, who doesn't know he's going to be as infamous as he will be, but I think September 16th will be a wonderful day for him, because I'm hoping that's the day that he launches his show. So Howard Larson, the next minute is yours.
Howard Larson, Larson Associates, business to business, telemarketing, target marketing, trade show marketing. I bother people at lunch, never at dinner. I'm up in Grays Lake, a stone's throw away from the Cheddar Curtain. On the good side, the Illinois side. What would I tell somebody coming up in the world? Never make an instant decision. If you can't sleep on it, it's not worth doing.
Ooh, that's a good one. But you did make an instant decision today, which is going to be a good one, Howard. I just have a feeling. That's September 16th. That's a big
You made
day.
a decision. I have not confirmed the
Oh,
decision.
circle that on the calendar. It's going to be a wonderful day. Look at Fred. He's already celebrating, Howard.
Yeah.
Got his horns on.
You realize
Howard,
that the 16th is the Respect for the Aged Day.
Oh, that's a great day, Howard. We'll always remember you for that. So, Howard, where are you located?
Grays Lake, Illinois.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so, Howard, you're going to be giving some information to an up-and-coming adult. What red flag are you going to tell them to avoid?
I already gave it to you.
Oh,
Never make an instant decision. If you can't sleep on it, it's not worth doing.
Thought maybe you'd rethink that one because you did make it.
No.
All right. Okay. Mitesh Shah, are you with us? Where is Mitesh? Have we lost him?
He's back under the bed.
Oh, no. Mitesh, come out from under the bed. So, Chris Pratt, we're going to skip and go to you right away. The next minute is yours.
Thanks, Lynn. Hey there, my name is Chris Pratt, and I am a certified functional nutritionist. I love helping people that are dealing with chronic illness or maybe undiagnosed symptoms, inflammation, pain, cellular toxicity. I love helping them get to the root of that and helping them to detox naturally and clean out their system. I love helping people get more energy and reverse chronic illness. I personally am in the last part of my struggle with stage 4 cancer. And I don't mean that because I'm about to die. I mean that because I'm coming through it and my life is getting stronger and stronger every day. So I'm super excited to share what I've learned in that journey and have people reaching out to me every week, sharing their story. And it's really powerful to see the amazing things that our bodies can do. You know, God created our bodies to heal themselves given the right conditions. And so that's what I believe in. I'm sticking to it. I have a podcast called Healing Conspiracy. It just launched this week, and you can find that at healingconspiracy.com. And you can check it out on YouTube as well, or wherever you get your podcast, and on PHred Radio. So a lot going on there. So we'd love for you to connect with me.
And what's the name of that show again?
Healing Conspiracy.
Yay. And Chris speaks from knowledge, guys. This is not just stuff that he knows in a book. This is stuff that he's living. And so we're ever so grateful for all the inspiration that you bring to that show, Chris. Thank you. And Chris, what is the one piece of information you would give to a young person if you were telling them to look out for red flags?
Yeah, so for me, some major red flags, they go kind of hand in hand. It's frustration and anger. When you find yourself constantly in a state of frustration or anger, there's always a bigger reason than what you're facing. So I think it's important to dissect those reasons because that can easily turn into sickness in your body. And
did you tell them where you're from?
Oh, yeah. I didn't, but I am outside of Houston, Texas, in a little town called Trinity.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Kelly Kellum, we always love hearing from Kelly. Kelly, you are up.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I'm Kelly Kellum, college admissions strategist. You know how it's so overwhelming to go through the college application process and then to try to figure out how to pay for college. Well, I help families of college-bound students not only get into the right fit college, get accepted to that college with less stress, and save money on going to college. Just this summer alone, I've helped families save between $20,000 and over $100,000 over the 4 years of college. And you can catch me on my radio show on PHred. I'm with my co-host Liz Lewine. I wanted to say Lynn Lionhood there, but it's Liz Lewine.
Get out of your mouth.
Yeah, on Beyond the Book, Teen Success Secrets. We air Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific. Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific. Thanks so much, Lynn. Oh, advice I would give to somebody coming up. If it sounds too good to be true, if it's too easy, it really is too good to be true. Don't go down that path.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And make sure you go and check out on the Mastering the Money Matrix. I did a Facebook Live where I interviewed Kelly, and she went through the details. She was able to find over $120,000 for an individual getting into a brand new school, and I mean, she's a hero. So outstanding job of what she does, and it's really cool. I mean, just how much money she can help people save.
Thank you, Rob.
Guys, you're a parent. This is not little money. If you're clipping coupons to save 35 cents on a loaf of bread and you're going to put that kid in college, you better call Kelly. This is significant money and could mean the difference between your child going to college or maybe not going. So Kelly is an excellent resource. Thank you very much, Rob, for reminding us of that. And in fact, Chris Pratt is a part of two of our groups. Kelly is a part of two of our groups. Both of them in the health, no. Chris is in the health and wellness. Kelly in the Money Matrix group and the coaches group. Now we're going to test the old lady's brain here to see if I can remember all this. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Dawn telling you, so we're so glad she's back from Boston. We missed her.
Thank you, Lynn. Hi, everyone. I am glad to be back home, but boy, it was fun seeing what Avon has coming for fourth quarter. Stay tuned. I'll tell you more about that. But let me just explain who I am. Dawn Tellinghusen. I've been an independent Avon ambassador. They have changed our names to ambassador for 41 years. I have a team of over 240 ambassadors, and I live in Indianapolis, Indiana. So what I want to ask you today is, what are you going to do for the holidays? Would you like to have a debt-free holiday? Would you like to be able to buy your gifts from yourself and join my wonderful team of ambassadors and have me as your Avon advisor? Would you like to just earn a little extra money? Or would you like to make a six-figure income? Well, it's up to you. You can be your own boss with Dawn at Avon. Just let me know. My information is in the chat. You can contact me by calling 248-408-5833. Again, that's 248-408-5833. Or you can see the actual brochure at bit.ly/Avon Dawn brochure. Capitals on Avon, Dawn, and brochure. And the red flag to look out for that I'm thinking, and it's a little bit positive spin on it, I want to tell you to step out of your comfort zone. Take steps to grow.
One, Dawn. Absolutely excellent. We're so happy you're back with us again.
Thank you.
Kevin Marshall. Everybody wants to know, what does Kevin Marshall do? Where's he at? What's he thinking? And we all are ready to listen, Kevin.
So thank you, Lynn. I just met Lynn this week, and it's an honor to get to know you, Lynn. Thank you for having me. So first of all, my soulmate and I, we travel. We've been traveling. We're virtual. We've been traveling for about a year. We have a converted RV, a Mercedes Sprinter RV conversion. We travel and we stay in resorts, and currently we're in Scottsdale. But so besides being a traditional CPA, I do taxes and accounting work. I also do business loans, and also I'm a business broker, so I buy and sell businesses. But I'm here specifically to tell you guys about a tax credit that is available from the IRS. If you were self-employed in 2020 or 2021 and had a profit, you can get up to $32,000 from the IRS. It expires in about 7 months, so time is running out. My contact information is in there. So again, self-employed, you filed as a Schedule C on your personal tax return. This includes Avon business.
You can wait till the dance music's over.
Consultants, Uber drivers. It actually includes farmers even, and members of the clergy are all considered to be self-employed. So I'll put my contact information in there again. I'd be happy to talk to you about it and see if we can get you some money in your pocket.
Yay! So we're hoping that Kevin comes back with us more often. We'd love to have him here with us. And you do know that, just like Howard, you were a virgin when you came in, but you're not leaving a virgin. Just want you to know. So, yay. Keith, we're going to come back to you in just a minute. We're going to grab a hold of one of our speakers. Now where did Deanna went? She went under the bed. Well, we're going to go back to Mitesh. You are up.
Hello, thank you everyone. My name is Mitesh. My company's name is Video Animation Services. We help people with branding. So if you're facing problems with your website, your social media, or you're facing any problems with any social media, you can always contact me. I have a team of 11 people who do SEO, search engine optimization, and recently we have started LinkedIn automation, which can really get you good amount of clients. So if you're really interested to get huge amount of leads and you want to close and you want to target the perfect audience, because in LinkedIn, you might be aware that you can give me the profession, you can give me the location, you can let me know who is your target audience, and I can reach you. Every day, 40 connection requests will be going from your personal ID, and you will be booking meetings like this. So if you need help, contact me. I'm just a message away. Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful. Mitesh, do you want to tell everyone where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from India.
And do you want to tell them, whoops, music is on. You want to tell them if you were giving someone some advice, what is the red flag that you would tell them to watch out for?
So I think in today's world, for young people, I'll always say that don't trust people quickly. Take your time and give them some time. Try to understand. Then only trust people, because it's very hard to trust people these days.
Very good advice. We're so happy to have you back. And Mitesh, do not forget now, my message was very old. I need to talk to you after this call. Thank you very much. Deanna, are you with us? I'm hoping
yes,
she's
ma'am. My video is just misbehaving.
Hey, Deanna, you are up. The next 5 minutes are yours.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for this time today. So I was talking with a client earlier this week, and she's preparing for a financing appointment that she has. She's looking to get financing for her business. I'm not good at articulating that side. That's not my specialty. She was asking me a question, though, that really kind of stuck with me. Should she prepare a slideshow or not as part of a presentation to try to get this? And I thought about it for a bit, because this kind of touches on marketing a little bit. When should you use a slideshow and when should you not? So as a general rule of thumb, if you're going to do anything that's less than 15 minutes, absolutely not. You don't want to use a slideshow in anything that you would consider intimate, or where, you want to tell personal stories, anything spontaneous. Like, you don't want to have a thumbstick in your pocket with your slideshow on it to use at the drop of a hat. That's just a little bit silly. But you do want to use them, obviously, if you're going to be conveying really, really complicated ideas, or if you want to just, lay out information for somebody to see visually, because it can really reinforce the points that you're trying to make. Now, there's a couple of advantages and disadvantages to using them or not. Like I said, when you do use them, they help your audience better understand what you're trying to get across. They can keep you really well on track. And, they can be a bit of a crutch, which is also a drawback. People can begin to over-rely on a slideshow presentation. And so when somebody in the audience asks a spontaneous question, it can be really hard for them to divert track to address the question totally and completely. It can also be a disadvantage because you don't focus on the audience so much as the words that you have up on the screen. And watching an audience while you're giving a presentation, you can see who's taking notes, who's nodding their head, who's completely ignoring you. Which brings me to a very specific statistic that I wanted to share with everyone today. Over 90% of people admit that when they are watching a presentation, they are daydreaming or doing something else. That's a horrifying number. That means that 9 out of 10 people that you're talking to are not engaged with you. So using a slideshow, it can really disengage you from what's going on in the room, versus without one, you're making eye contact while you're talking, assuming you have your video on, which I don't. You're able to read the body language in the room. You're able to see if your tone is falling flat, and so you've lost everybody's attention. And with the slides up on the screen, you really can't pay attention to your audience quite so much. And that's all I've got for everybody today. I hope that was a little bit helpful. I am in Birmingham, Alabama, and I can do business just about anywhere. Lionheart Kingdom Marketing, love you all.
Beautiful. And what kind of information would you give to someone about what red flags to watch out for?
If someone tells you that it's easy and you can definitely do it, take a step back and look at it really, really hard, because there's probably a couple of catches hidden in there.
Uh-oh. Good deal. Thank you so much, Deanna. Appreciate you. Keith Robinson, we're going to go back to some of our introductions. You're up.
Greetings, everybody from Ireland. I'm heavily involved in the health and wellness space. It is possible to help the body to repair itself. I often have the saying, health and wellness is a choice, but actually it's only a choice if you have the knowledge. Now, if you clean your cardiovascular system, if you provide the missing nutrition to your body that's no longer in our food, well, then guess what happens? The body will fix itself. Some of the things we have watched people correct are all sorts of cardiovascular issues, including reversing the need for bypass surgery, reversing strokes, all sorts of diabetes issues, including reversing the need for amputations, all sorts of immune system issues, fertility issues, arthritis issues, HIV, hepatitis C. We've seen people clean their own kidneys and get off dialysis, reduce and eliminate all sorts of medication, and sort out erectile dysfunction. These are all possible for the body to fix when it has the fuel and when it has circulation. I gladly share that with people on a one-to-one basis.
What would your piece of information be for someone, a red flag they should look out for?
When the governments of the world and the media of the world get together and push a lie, that's the time to go the opposite direction and do your own research, and don't fall for it.
Good information. Thank you very much, Keith Robinson. Kelly Craig. Everybody's got Kelly Craig on their list and don't know a thing about her, and so she's going to help us out and tell us everything. Welcome, Kelly.
Thanks, Lynn. I appreciate you. So I am a life coach. I empower women in addiction, recovery, and codependency to heal through self-love so that they can live their life on purpose and use their superpowers to change the world. I'm here because I started a passion project. It's a nonprofit called Recovery with Rescues, where I'm pairing people in life coaching with a rescue animal for adoption to become their emotional support animal. So I am looking for, exposure and things like that to help me grow as it is brand new. I did put a link in for a freebie for you guys for a PDF download for self-esteem and codependency, a few steps to help you with that. And I'm hosting a inner child workshop on September 28th live on Zoom, and it will include a workbook and stuff to do some healing. Had great success with it.
Kelly, my brain is going crazy. As soon as you start talking, this happens to me sometimes, where the human Rolodex starts going crazy. I need to have you reach out to me later today. Please do. I have a connection for you because of the non-for-profit you spoke about. I watched a whole lot of people on here congratulating you when you spoke about that. So I think there's a lot of interest, and I have somebody who can get you that exposure and the help that you need to get that really going. So
awesome.
I also have other things I want to talk to you about too. So I really do need to speak to you later today. So in the chat, I have put contact information for myself.
Okay. I'm having a hard time copying the chat, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you won't be able to copy it because we had a weirdo who came and took over the chat and some weirdo stuff up. So if you just go scroll through the chat, you'll see my email and phone number. If you just jot down my phone number so that you can give me a call, that would be wonderful. I'll give you that information today.
Okay, thank you. Yep, and as far as
welcome you
advice
back.
for anyone, I would say that if you're being forced to do something by your parents or teachers when you're graduating, that you should do what you love instead.
Yay! Kelly, you want to tell them where you're from?
Sure. Bradenton, Florida.
Yeah, Bradenton. You're right next to Sarasota, where a lot of my family is.
Yep.
Wonderful.
I am.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Beautiful
you,
people down there.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to run over to Matt Cristofaro. Yes, we're always happy to have these good-looking men. We'll take all the men we can get on this call.
Thank you. Matt Cristofaro, I'm with the Thrive program, and in only 6 weeks, I'm able to help my clients overcome mental health challenges and start loving life. They're able to easily overcome things like depression, anxiety, fears, phobias. The program is based on hundreds of research papers and 35 years of clinical experience, so there's nothing magical about it. And the nice thing is that there's a distinct beginning and end to the program, so clients know exactly what they're paying, and they know that at the end of our engagement, it only ends when they tell me I have strong mental health and I do not need you anymore. I personally overcame 24 years of panic attacks with this program. We've helped 60,000 people so far worldwide, and a great referral for me would be somebody who is depressed, because it is one of the easiest things for people to overcome when they know how to do so. Thank you.
And you want to tell them where you're from? Listen up, JG. He's out here by us. Hang on. We'll wait till the music's over. Dancing music.
I am in Rhode Island.
And what advice would you give someone?
Learn how to invest your money as quickly as you possibly can. Don't just spend it. Don't just put it in a checking account. Learn how to invest your money and get it to work for you.
Uh-oh. Melissa's listening. Melissa says, I can help you with that stuff. She's got her ears up. I can hear her. Excellent.
So can I.
I know we haven't gotten down to you yet. They don't even know the magic you've got in your hands yet. Excellent. Wendy Lauritsen, you are up.
Great. Thanks, Lynn. Hi, everybody. I'm Wendy Lauritsen. My company is holisticjourney.org. I'm a certified health coach and EFT tapping practitioner. I help busy professionals and parents improve their diet and really get a hold of their stress, because when you get high levels of stress, symptoms start. So we can try to end that before things really get out of hand, because the levels of chronic disease are extremely high right now. I also have an Amazon store on my website with healthy products. So my company is holisticjourney.org. Again, thanks a lot.
Beautiful. Before I get to the next, didn't give us your where you're from.
I am near Chicago.
And you didn't give us your advice that you would give someone about a red flag.
Yes, a red flag would be if you are in a relationship that doesn't feel right, and you can feel tension in your body, especially in your gut. You need to listen to that, because your instinct is extremely powerful and it's telling you something. So try to tune into that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Before we go on to the next one, guys, I'm going to give you some information about Legal Shield and ID Shield. And today I'm not going to give you an example so much as it's kind of as an example, but it's more of a warning for you guys to all be careful. A man had gone to a restaurant to buy his meal, pay with his credit card like many of us do. When the waitress came back, she handed him his receipt wrapped around his credit card. He took his credit card. He said normally he sticks it in his wallet, but he had a couple of minutes waiting for his wife to come back from the ladies' room. He happened to look at the card to realize the card he had been given was an expired card from someone else. It was not his card. So he called the waitress. She took the card, but he said she did something kind of unusual. She didn't appear to be too concerned about this and went back to where she had gotten the card and kind of waved it in the air, and then they handed her his card, and he came back. It just looked very suspicious to her. So I'm just going to give you guys a little warning. When you do go out and hand your card to someone, take a minute or two and make sure that the card that you are given is your card. You don't want your card left in the hands of someone else. Please be careful. The last thing I'm going to say is, guys, I had once again this week, and it seems like it's happening more and more often, received a call from a friend to tell me that they needed to talk for 10 minutes, and they explained to me that they had been diagnosed with cancer. We are all hearing somebody who's being diagnosed with something, and this person is not that old, and it's very, very frightening to me, and I asked them if they had their will done, and they did not. I don't want them to think that they need that will right now. But if and when the time comes, I don't want them to say they put it off so long that they didn't have it ready. So I'm looking for 3 people who are willing to contact me, take the legal shield, get the complimentary will, living will, and medical directive. A lot of you are sending kids off to college this time of year. Please be aware that if they are over 18, which they should be if they're heading to college, says they do not have to give you medical information should they be in an auto accident or be hurt and end up in the hospital. Years ago, they had to, but they don't anymore. That can all be prevented by having a medical directive in place. Most people either aren't aware of it or they think the cost is too high. My company gives you the will, the living will, and the medical directive complimentary on day 1. So I'm throwing out a challenge for 3 people to contact me, get Legal Shield. Please get that will and living will and medical directive in place. I will feel better that I've left 3 people in a better shot should something happen in the next year. So if you do that, I have a special opportunity for you that should help you grow your business by giving you more exposure. So 3 people I'm looking for. Thank you. Now I'm good. Whoops, Kelly, you have your hand up.
I just wanted to add to what you said, Lynn. I don't think people realize it's not just that they don't have to give the information to parents. It's that if the student is over, or the child is over 18, they cannot legally give that information. Even if your child is in the hospital, they could be on life support. They can't give you that information. And I know that from working in hospice. I can't tell you how many times I had to tell adult kids that I couldn't tell them whether or not their parent was on our service, and I knew they were. So it's please get that in place for your kids that are 18.
I have just had that happen too many times in the last couple of weeks where I'm getting calls that people are seriously, seriously ill, and it's not their first thought. So I'm begging of you, please just get those documents in place. You will not have the time to think about it if something bad starts to happen. So thank you very much, Kelly. That's wonderful information for everybody. Fred, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to remind our listeners they can dial in at 323-580-5755. That's 323-580-5755. Call in and we'll get you on talking to Lynn. Or you can chat at PHred, that's KPHred.com, the way it sounds, PHred.com.
Thank you. I told somebody about PHred. Now they think Fred spells his name PHred. I said, oh, okay.
I do. I do.
I'm going to go back to one of my speakers, so I'm going to go to Mark Anthony Arena. For those of you who do not know him, he is our tech tip guru. So, guys, you want to get out your pens and take notice. He usually has some kind of a great tip that will help you with your computers that will not cost you anything. Go for it, Mark Anthony. The next 5 minutes is yours.
Mark Anthony Arena, thecomputerexorcist.com. I put out an episode this week with a Las Vegas comedian. She's just naturally hilarious. I was laughing the whole time. Check it out. It was great. Her name is April Big Girl Lee. So, as y'all know, the purpose of what I do is to explain what is happening, what is being done to you in plain English, what is being done to you by this nefarious industry. So today is a more conceptual one as opposed to practical advice, but it'll help you realize how things work in my industry. So today's tip is proprietary versus open architecture. In his book, The Cathedral and the Bazaar, Eric S. Raymond teaches us the 2 ways software is currently designed. Commercial software is like a cathedral. There's one main architect guiding a hierarchy of programmers. Open source software is all volunteer-based and flat, like a bazaar where anyone with a tent can show up. Similarly, a car, a computer, or a motorcycle is usually designed using parts that are all proprietary. In other words, parts specific to that model. This forces consumers to have to buy model-specific parts and dealer-only parts. And this eventually means your product will be unrepairable and destined for the landfill. right? You can find tires and headlights that are more or less universal, but if you need a certain fender for a certain model and they don't make it anymore, you're done. The good news is some new products are designed with open architecture, meaning you can use any number of standardized parts. For example, your tower PC, especially if you go to a local guy and have them build you a custom PC, they can use any brand of motherboard, any brand of hard drives, any DVD drive, any power supply, etc. As long as they obey the industrial standards that are accepted across the industry for dimensions, right? It has to fit into a slot that's 5 1/4 inches wide, and voltages. It has to be 5 volt or 12 volt, whatever it might be. As long as they obey those standards, they'll work. This ensures that the best man wins, so to speak. So you go out there and you choose between the best DVD drive or the best hard drive and so on. Most laptops are still proprietary, right? It's just a Dell 12345 or a Lenovo E570, but Framework and Librem are out to change that. This eliminates monopolistic behavior, and it greatly simplifies inventories, and it encourages competition among parts manufacturers and dramatically reduces landfills full of products that couldn't be repaired. This has become an obsession of mine, and it's time consumers learn about it.
That's it? Yay. Did you all get notices on that stuff? Do you guys all know what he's talking about? Do it. Mark Anthony, where are you located?
I'm near Niagara Falls, and if I could go back and tell my younger self, I would say you don't have to accept the situation you're in. I went to an elementary school that I really, really disliked. Every day was loathe and doom, and I loathed going there every day. I dreaded it. And later on in life, I had a condo, and there was a lady in the building who smoked and filled the entire condo building with her smoke, and my dad said, hey, you could sell the place. Right, just knowing that you can leave a horrible situation. I didn't think of that.
Excellent. We're going to go back into our next introduction. In fact, I forgot to tell you guys what my advice for someone about a red flag would be. I would think, guys, if you meet someone and they're dishonest, remember that. If they're dishonest once, they're going to be dishonest again. Put them in your red file for those of you who know the filing system. And remember, they don't come out. Red is dead. You're dishonest to me once, I'm not trusting you a second time. That's it. So just don't cross that line the first time. So let's pick back up where we left off. So Ann Mackey, did I get it right this time, Ann? Uh-oh, she's got to unmute.
There.
There you go.
Okay. Yes, you said it great. That's awesome.
Finally, it took me a year to get it right.
Hey, and I answered it either, so it's okay. So I'm Ann Mackey out of Wichita, Kansas, and I am in the health and wellness space. I help people to let their body heal itself by activating their stem cells through a phototherapy patch that they wear. So no pills, no potions, nothing like that, no chemicals, no drugs. And you're welcome to reach out to me for reducing pain, increasing healing in all kinds of areas of your body. I'm also a professional accent and pronunciation coach, and I work with doctors and professors and others, engineers, those who may struggle to be understood clearly with their pronunciation of American English while keeping their accent. So as far as what I would advise younger people, red flags, I could give you a big long list, but the main thing I think I would say is be aware that people will manipulate you if you let them. So be on guard, educate yourself, have knowledge, and along with that, no one can offend you without your permission. So if someone's trying to manipulate you and they're doing it through offending you, stay in your power and just don't accept what they're saying as valid or truthful. And that's a hard place to be, to struggle and say, I know I'm strong enough that I don't have to hear that. That's not really me. But anyway, so I would like them to stay empowered.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Very good advice. Anita Bala, the next minute is yours.
Hi, my name is Anita Bella. I'm from the Chicagoland area, and I'm with a health and wellness company. I help educate people on what it is that they're consuming and give them healthier, non-toxic, safer options. And The other business I have is I'm a pronunciation coach for English as a second language. So I help non-native English speakers speak more clearly and confidently. And I would say I agree with Lynn with what she said. Like, if people are dishonest with me, I don't trust them much anymore after that. I don't want to have much to do with them. That's a big red flag that I've learned in life, unfortunately, and is to listen to your gut. Always listen to your gut.
Excellent. Excellent. You want to tell them where you're from?
The Chicagoland area.
Excellent. Super. Yeah. Alexis, are you with us? Where there are Alexis's under the bed. Under the bed seems to be a place a lot of people are lately. Arlene, I know you're there. Hi, Arlene, you're muted.
Hi.
You're up.
Okay. So my name is Arlene Morgan, Morgan Creative Services. I am a digital support specialist. I provide seamless digital support to enhance the visibility and the efficiency of my clients. This includes brand, logo, graphic design, email newsletter, content update for websites and blog, as well as Zoom and webinar assistance. This allows the client to focus on what they do best, increase their profit, support their clients, and balance their lifestyle. So in essence, I help the client to take back their time to work in their business as opposed to on their business. Arlene Morgan, Morgan Creative Services. Freedom is your lifestyle. I am here to help you achieve that.
You want to tell them where you're located?
Winchester, Virginia. And what I would tell a young person is, even if there is something that they can't do, never let anyone tell them that they can't.
Wonderful. Mitesh, you have a question?
No, I just wanted to collaborate with her. So it would be great if she can share me her link to have a meeting.
Excellent. Well, Arlene, he wants to meet with you. That's a good thing.
Oh, okay. Okay. My information is in the chat.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So we're going to run down to Gigi. Yay, Gigi, you're up.
You know, I'm kind of nervous about this, but I do two things. One of them is that I help people purchase affordable art. Have you ever thought that a piece of art can fill your home and your heart, change the way you look at things, fill your life with enjoyment? For instance, for a while there, I did some home care for some people, hospice care, and having a piece of art in their room actually lifted their spirits. Art can do so many things, but I'm also an executive, marketing executive for a health and wellness company. Throughout my childhood, I suffered from lots of allergies from detergents. So my parents had a very hard time finding the right products for me, all the way from goat's milk to oats and so many other things I've tried and nothing really worked. Well, fortunately, I found a great company that does offer these products, and I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to share this information with you. And it's a great health and wellness company. So I provide two things. I provide art. I help people buy art. I help people curate art in their homes. I also restore people's art. For instance, if somebody has an old T-shirt that they liked, or if they have a tie from their father or grandfather, or an old linen that belonged to their grandparents, or a wedding dress, or something that you want to preserve, I take that piece of material and turn it into art. So it becomes a keepsake. It's great for the holidays. It's great for gifts. I do things like ties. I make them into ornaments, and I turn them into pieces of art. So I try and do those type of things to not only help you have a cleaner home, a healthier home, but also look at something wonderful on your wall as well. So contact me if you're interested.
And where are you located?
Oh, I live in Connecticut.
Is my neighbor. Gigi, do you want to also tell us what advice would you give a young person about a red flag they should look out for?
Someone who doesn't communicate or listen. If someone's a bad listener, they're not hearing the whole story. And I think learning how to develop your skills to listen well and also communicate effectively, I think is really important in all aspects of sales.
Super. Thank you so very much. Victor Lopez, I know he's going to run for a client meeting. Victor, we want to hear from you.
Sure. Thank you, Lynn. Victor Lopez. I'm out of Fishkill, New York. I'm in the real estate field, tax lien, and tax deed investor. The way that works is somebody doesn't pay their taxes. The county holds a lien over that property. I buy those liens, and I get paid when they redeem. I get into some penalties. My info's in the chat. If anybody's interested in what I do, my info's in the chat. And thank you for having me, guys.
And what advice, Victor, would you give a young person to look out for?
Go with your gut 100%.
Super. Thank you so very much, Victor. Rob, you know what, Rob? I'm going to come right back to you. I'm going to go to Jam Jam. For those of you who do not know Jam Jam, Jam Jam does AI, guys, and he always brings us something very, very interesting from the AI world. So, Jam Jam, the next 5 minutes are yours.
Awesome. Oh, okay, this is working. Awesome. So in the AI space recently, a lot of people were really afraid of NVIDIA not beating their earnings call, which they did, of course, because it's NVIDIA. So some big things that are happening right now is funding for a lot of these big AI companies, specifically OpenAI. They're trying to get more funding, which is also kind of interesting because they came up with this new model, I'll say, quotations, that's called Strawberry. And the goal of this model is to solve complex situations. And so it's going to be used apparently within the government on border security, which that's going to be super interesting to see how that works. Though I will say it is a very interesting concept because it's actually a lot slower than most models. And it's also going to be a lot more expensive because of the fact that it has to obviously run more. Something else that's also happened is that AI actually created an entire video game, the Doom game, which is super, super interesting because, again, this is showing the level of what AI can actually do and achieve. And I personally can't wait until next year when they have the CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Show, which is in Vegas. I will be going to that. And so I'll be able to get to have some sneak peeks at what they're doing and what they're building. So as always, I do have something to show you guys, which is really nice because this here kind of shows how AI has gotten better with actual text images, which is kind of scary, but also interesting. So look at this. So as most of you have known, if you're new to the group, well, I'm going to catch you up. AI's always had to struggle with a few things: text, facial features, and hands. Now, it's gotten a lot better with that, now that it's learned. This here was created with AI, and I thought this was super interesting because of the fact that it has the actual lettering perfect in this. It's not all merged together or anything like that. So I thought I'd show this just to show you that AI is improving so rapidly, and you need to stay on top of it. Now, let's also show you this really cool video here. This is all AI done, and it goes through several different art styles, all in seconds. Now, mind you, if a Hollywood movie had to do this, it'd be an over-budgeted movie with I don't know, Chris Pratt or Angelina Jolie. That would be a crappy movie anyway. But I'm gonna play this movie, or not this movie, this clip. And look at that. It goes through several different art styles in just minutes. And I think this is super interesting. And now it's obviously playing on Whooping Gangnam Style by, I think his name's Pissy. I don't know what his name is. But I thought this was so interesting to show you guys as look at the sheer amount of times it changes. Now, obviously, as you notice, right, one, this person's hand is completely bent the wrong way. That's a very muscular woman. Hey, no shame to it. No shame to it. And then this guy's entire arm is actually just or hand is actually missing completely. So I wanted to show you guys this because I thought this was super cool. And then to top it all off, this was all done by AI. And this here is all architecture, interior design, and photography all combined into one video. Using Runway, it uses Midjourney, and obviously, as you can tell, this is AI because the way that she's leaning is like insane. Also, there's no doors, by the way, to that apartment, if anybody noticed. But isn't this like so fascinating? So imagine the future when you're not going to go look at houses. They're just going to send you a video like this, like, oh yeah, this is what the inside of the house is going to be. Or they're going to be like, hey, we're building you a new house, but guess what? This is what's going to look like. Now, I would like a house like this. I wouldn't mind. Also, if you didn't notice, her arm looks very janky, by the way. So always look at the key details. I want to show you guys this to show you what AI has now completely improved on. And if I were to show this to almost anyone, you wouldn't even know that this was actually all done in AI. You would have been like, oh, wow, this is super, super nice. But guess what? It's all done in AI. So other than that, who am I? I'm Jam, everybody's favorite little 21-year-old, which is actually kind of interesting because now I'm thinking, what advice would I give somebody? Because I'm getting older, I'm getting the back pains and the foot pains. So I got to really think, like, what would I give somebody? I'm going to let the music play first. I would say push forward at all costs, though I will also say don't let your pride and ego get the best of you, because pride sets in when advice becomes disrespect, and that's something to always keep on you. So I originally from Chicago, but I now live in Texas. So there you go.
Excellent. Anticipated my next question. Very good, Jam. Thank you so very much. We're going to run to the infamous Rob Holman, who we are always happy to have with us. Rob, you are up.
Well, thank you so much. Now, lately, I've been specializing with California teachers, helping them to understand, number one, their salary percentage pay cut post-retirement, their district-approved supplemental options, and also what it actually would cost them to name a beneficiary post-retirement. So if you know a teacher, I'd love to make sure they're prepared for retirement where they never run out of money and it supports their lifestyle. Now, on Monday, I helped a 27-year-old teacher create over $120,000 in tax-free income for when she retires at age 62, which is more than what she was going to be getting in her pension. So we really hit that one out of the park. Now, your solution should offer guaranteed lifetime income, preferably in a tax-free solution. So if you don't have a pension when you retire, we can create one for you together. Now, again, my name is Rob Homan with RNC Financial, better known as your health and wealth bodyguard. Licensed in 37 different states for both life and health, but I only live in one, which is Florida, in the town of Land O'Lakes. I'm a husband, father, and a pa of 5 awesome grandkids, and the best way to reach me is to call 813-943-9683. Again, that's 813-943-9683. Now, my advice, this is for males. When a woman comes to you upset with a situation and she's speaking very passionately about something, start making it a point to ask them, is this a situation where you need me to help you with this problem, or is this a situation where I need to listen, agree, and empathize with you and just let you vent? You're going to solve a lot of arguments that way. Trust me.
Absolutely, you will. Oh, my goodness. I love it. You, Rob. Dr. Jaya Kasturi, you're up next. Up, you're muted.
Board-certified internist from Chicagoland, Illinois. I've been a physician for over 55 years, and I've always been fascinated by aging phenomenon. Recently, World Health Organization has put aging phenomenon as a disease, and most of the problems that happens when you are getting old is because of the fact that many of our genes are not doing what they are supposed to do. And we can trigger the switch on of these genes which are not doing anymore their jobs, and we can activate them with nutritional compounds. That's called activation. Instead of supplementing, you can activate and make your genes work for you to make your own antioxidants, anti-inflammatory enzymes, and even a prevention of cancer and chronic diseases. So that's my field. I'm very fascinated by this field because this is up and coming. I do not know what to tell about. Yeah, because I'm a physician, I tell everybody, even if you're young, keep an eye on your health. That's my always advice to everybody.
Excellent. And where are you located?
Chicagoland, Naperville, Illinois.
Wonderful. And we will have a special announcement about Dr. Janet Kesturi for next week's meeting. So stay tuned, and I think you'll love what you're going to hear. So thank you. Wendy, you are up next. We're glad to have you back with us.
Thank you so much. Good to be here. I am in the business of whole life transformation. So if you are experiencing brain fog or poor sleep or poor digestion, I have the solution to this. Right now we are opening up our fall equinox experience, and you will receive a 30-day private Telegram group. We're having spiritual, somatic, and nervous system healing. We have recipes. We have education on nutrition. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I am looking for somebody who is interested in that and starting fresh for the fall season and activating that portal for their highest alignment. And I am located in Los Angeles area, and my words of wisdom is to stay focused. Don't get distracted by all the bells and whistles. Stay focused on your mission, on your goals, and be consistent, because that builds trust.
Excellent. And I think you picked the right color for the day today.
Yeah, I noticed that. I love it.
Hey, that works out well. Thank you very much, Wendy. We hope you continue with us. Thank you. Carrie Crawford Moore, good to have you back with us.
Hey, Lynn, great to be here. So, yeah, it's like the past, I don't know how many Thursdays I either had to work, I had to do a demo, I had a doctor's appointment. So, glad to be here. So, I am Karen Crawford Moore, a.k.a. Chef Karen, and I am a personal chef, and I prepare meals in clients' homes, businesses, venues, Airbnbs, etc. And also, I'm excited to announce coming soon, pre-packaged meals available for pickup. So if you are in Chicago, South Suburbs, or Northwest Indiana, give me a call and I'll give you the details. And also, if you are in a food adjacent business, or you know someone who's in a food adjacent business, I'm looking for sponsors. So that could be cooking tools, foodstuffs, things of that nature. I'm looking to partner with those people. Thank you.
You have been forcing me, without your knowing it, to give recipes at the end of this call. I have given them recipes for, I had a good one where a rack of ribs was wrapped around a pineapple, and that one went over well. I've given them lots of great recipes. So you've been forcing me to have to be the purveyor of recipes for everyone.
We have to partner up, Lynn. Dial a recipe.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So I do want to talk to you, Karen Crawford, more. I really do. I have an opportunity for you as well.
Okay.
So with that said, guys, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to go into a private breakout room. I'm going to hope you're going to have a good time in there. Let me get the breakout rooms ready. So as soon as it asks you if you're ready, please go enjoy it for 5 minutes, guys, and I will see you then. So the rooms are now all open.
So, Lynn, it's been an exciting lunch with Lynn so far. What was your favorite advice?
My favorite advice: don't let anyone force you to do anything you're not comfortable with. I really think they ought not to do that. So let me just move one more girl into a different room so that she's got somebody in there with her. What was your favorite piece of advice so far?
I don't know. Well, so on see, when I hear that, don't let anybody do what things you don't want to do. Well, part of me says that. Part of me says if I don't pay my taxes, bad things will happen to me. I don't like paying taxes, but we do them. So I'm not quite sure about all of that. My favorite advice is never get between me and a coffee pot in the morning.
Or too early.
Exactly. Most people have known me for a while. Go ahead.
With PHred, lots of exciting things I think are coming up. Because we are always looking for sponsors. I want you to know that. Sponsors are what this is your opportunity, guys. If they're listening to the radio, tuned in with their brain, and they are listening, they're not distracted with pictures. They are listening. So that's a good thing to be a sponsor on the radio.
I agree with you, and you actually have sponsorship news about PHred, don't you?
Yes, I do. I think that people should call. We have a wonderful package deal for people who want to be a sponsor. Extremely affordable, but I'm not going to tell you the price until you contact me because I'd rather you were sitting down so you don't fall on the floor when you hear how affordable it is. And I would say try a sponsorship package. Try it for as long as possible because I'm going to make a little prediction here. As listenership goes up, so does the price of sponsorship. So I would lock in as quick as I could. If you could lock in the price of gasoline at the $1.50 when it was $1.50 and know that you could have that for a year, wouldn't you do it knowing where gas prices went? So I would say lock in quickly. It is a package deal of 10 commercials. We can help you with absolutely every bit of that to make sure that you are heard and heard well. And I think that Lunch with Lynn is going to have its first sponsorship next week.
Ooh.
Absolutely. First of many, I will tell you.
Yeah, that I know because our Lynn is the queen of sponsorships for PHred, and she's just what I expected to be a slow ramp up. She said, no, we're going to put the pedal to the metal, and we've been moving toward light speed since Lynn said we're going to do this. So you got to talk to her. She'll get you set up with the sponsorships. That way I can go work on the back end stuff.
Absolutely. Any shows out there causing a buzz?
Well, so last Saturday we had a phenomenal PHred Prime Live. It was a ladies' choice question, and it was asked by Barbara Wainwright, and that was, how would your life be different if you were born the other sex? Now, I got to tell you, it was me and 5 women.
Oh, boy.
And I had a real good time. Real good time. So you got to listen to it. You can find it on the podcast on PHred. You can also find the Lunch with Lynn's on the PHred podcast list. One thing that did come out of it is it's now in the planning stages, but there will be a PHred live in-person event, at least one in 2025.
Excellent.
Our own Katrin Becker, host of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Business, has taken over that and is running with it.
Excellent. Will Fred be there with horns on?
Fred will be there with horns on. He'll be I think it was Deanna made the comment on last Saturday's PHred Prime Live. I'm so bad, and I will be there with horns, and I will be bad.
Excellent. Well, here comes all our people back again. Excellent. Did you guys all get somebody good to talk to?
Yes.
Yes,
Yay! Some of you get lucky and you get in a room with more than one person, so that's good. So I'm going to give you guys one more opportunity, then I'm going to bring you all back here, and we're going to have a really good session where everybody can participate. So the rooms are all open. If you are ready, you can go for it.
So, folks, if you got a question, you can dial in at 323-580-5755. That's 323-580-5755. And one of those two. You can also go to PHred.com and use the live chat, and we'll get your questions out that way. So, Lynn, you have this huge funnel of potential new show hosts. Which topic excites you the most?
Of the ones coming up,
Yeah.
I think Jan Talon does. She's the one who's talking about families that are dealing with any momentous big thing, whether it be the death of someone, whether it be a sick child, a move to a new city, anything that stresses a marriage and has done this for 35 years, strengthening that marriage to withstand whatever that event may be to keep you together. I think that sometimes people will turn and run when events like that happen. I think that's the wrong thing to do. I think that those are the events that cement you and make you stronger and more powerful. And so I'm so excited about that because I think too many people give up too quickly on marriages.
So I will tell you that I was mentioning it to her show to Jeff Norris, who is the owner of TCG Solutions, who is what I'll say is the landowner under the PHred station. And his show is going to be about divorced fathers with kids. And he was really excited about her show coming on to the point where he said, when can I have her as a guest?
I'm telling you, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a very, very good show.
So I've been thinking about that, and we got bookends, and you've asked me a couple of times about what topics would I like to see shows on. And I was thinking about Jan Talon and then Jeff Norris, and there was the keeping the marriage together, and okay, the marriage is gone. How do we make sure you love their kids more than you hate your ex? And I thought there's a middle ground there that we're missing. And
so tell me.
Well, so I started thinking about I've seen several what I'll say divorce mediators. And I've been through one, and years and years ago, and my ex-wife will to this day tell you I'm one of her best friends. So we always loved our kid more than we hated each other. And so many people, when they go through a divorce, and it's usually if they have kids. I haven't heard this of people not having kids because they just kind of go their separate ways. But when you got kids, there seems to be a bit more pain, anger, vitriol, and people get blinded by, I hate that, I hate my soon-to-be ex. And I almost think a show on divorce mediation or how to deal with the divorce so that your kids don't suffer, I think that would be an interesting topic to have a show on.
You shouldn't have done this, Fred, because you got my Rolodex binging around, and I have a name for you, and I have a name for you for somebody who has been a guest on a radio show so many times. She has been a guest speaker for me many times in Illinois, and I'm going to tell you that every time she was a guest speaker, we had to get the tables out of the room. It was standing room only. I don't care if this woman spoke on the phone book. Everybody loved her, but that is a topic for her. And she would be phenomenal, and I'm going to bring her to you, Fred.
I think like that would be a great block of shows, one right after the other.
Absolutely.
I really love Jan's show because I think if there was more positive helping married couples, especially with kids, stay together, we could cut down on the listenership of the other two shows. Jeff's show, as well as the aforementioned, I guess you could say, how to go through a divorce without killing each other.
Right.
All right. So that's one of the answers that I've come up with. What type of show do you think we should add?
I want to do another show, Fred, myself.
Yeah. What's that going to be?
I would like to have a show where there are 5 people and we discuss current topics, albeit no politics.
Okay,
because
thank
you. We don't want people throwing things at each other. We want to be civil, but there are so many things always in the news that I think that if we had males and females and mixed up the perspectives, I think it could be a very exciting show.
All right, we'll have to see how we can work that out and make that happen. One of my topics has been to start adding short, a couple of times a day, short 5 to 10 minute news segments. But where I really want to go with them is the whole generational thing, because I learned recently that actually, I think it was last weekend's PHred Prime Live, Katrin Becker on the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in Business segment was talking about generational slang. And one of the words she popped out with was the word cap. And see, I remember back when my daughter, who's now 38, but I remember when she was 17, it was a year after my wife had died, and my daughter and I were out, I think, shopping for sheets at Bed Bath & Beyond, because, of course, I was incompetent at doing that because my wife had always done that. And the mail checker was kind of flirting with her. And as we walked off, my daughter got to deal with me saying, "Was he macking on you?" at the top of my lungs, and then used the phrase, "Do I have to bust a cap up his ass?" Of course, my daughter wanted to, sink into nowhere at that point. Now we laugh on it. But I asked Katrin, I said, "So you said cap, and what does that mean?" And so the word cap is a lie. So no cap means truth. So where this struck me as, and I learned from a friend of mine who's an elder boomer, that elder boomers don't like to be called elder boomers. And elder millennials don't like to be called elder millennials. They like to be called ex-millennials.
Yeah, I refuse to say I'm a millennial. I'm a Generation X because I return voicemails.
I'm Gen X too, so.
But I think, to your point, Fred, I think too, each generation views the news a little differently. You can tell the same news story to all these different generations, and they all view it just a little bit differently too. Things that are important to some generations, other generations go, who cares?
And you got my whole point of view dead on. Is where I want to get is different short newscasts from different generations, so they can talk about what's important to them in the news, and we can facilitate generational discussion. Me, I just view everybody as dumbass.
I'm going to work on that one for you. So I have everybody back with me again. Did everybody have a good discussion this last time too? Excellent. See, guys, it works out pretty good.
I grew up in the Reagan era when wearing a mullet I was rocking a mullet back then too. See that?
Oh my God, look at that baby face he has.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, I was rocking it. It stuck out the back of my football helmet in college. I was so cool, man.
So did you guys get somebody good to talk to?
Yeah.
Good. Like I said, if you stick with this, guys, at the very end, you get an opportunity. You know a little bit about each other. And then you can go into a room and you're not spending your time saying, hey, wait a minute, I got to tell them what I have to do. And they're going to tell me what they did. That's over. You can then go immediately to starting a conversation. Hopefully that'll carry on after this. So for all of you that are new that don't know, you will get a copy. Where did we lose some of the newbies? Some of the newbies got lost. But if you're new, you will get a copy of the chat with all the contact information from everybody that was at the meeting, and they will all expect to hear from you. Nobody's going to say to you, I didn't expect that I would get any follow-up from you. Everybody should reach out to everybody on that list. I have tried to teach you guys the value of networking the right way. You all came here not just to sell your widget, to develop a relation. So let's take Kelly. Kelly's going to meet Ann Mackey this week. She may have no interest in what Ann Mackey does. Ann Mackey may have no interest in what Kelly does, but you want to make sure that you take notes on what each other does. Because Ann may say, I know 3 people, Kelly, that would be wonderful connections for you. In return, you remember, relationships are 2 people, not 1. Kelly may listen to what Ann does and go, Ann, I don't have people that I can introduce you to, but I can think of a wonderful opportunity that you should try. Maybe you should try this group of people. They are doctors or nurses or whatever that have this meeting once in a while. Maybe you could help talk to them about their problems with their accent. So it's not always about having to do business with each other. It is learning about that person and wanting to share connections with them and introductions for them. Promise you, you will have much more business that way. You'll get many more referrals. It'll just all around be good for you. So you can't be selfish in what we're doing. So this little piece that we're going to talk about, guys, is about networking itself. I want to ask you guys, let's talk for a second about the 30-second or 1-minute commercial. You know, I know there's a lot of people who have differing opinions on this. I'm going to give you mine, and remember, it's just an opinion. Nobody has to take it. But I'm going to tell you from the things that I've seen over the years, and I've been running networking groups now for about 35 years. I think there are people that will come out and will say, okay, Karen Crawford Moore, you're a chef. You need to come out and you need to hone your 30-second skill, and this is what you should say, and blah, 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 blah. And she's going to memorize that. But when she begins to say what she's memorized, it sounds like somebody reading a memorized script. And here's what happens. Everybody else is going to sleep. Everybody, especially if they've already heard it once or twice or 3 times. People are saying, okay, I know that Karen is a chef, and now they're figuring out, I need to get some ground beef for dinner tonight. I have to pick up the dry cleaning. They're planning other things. They're not listening anymore. It's that white noise that we're used to hearing all the time, and that is not what you want to become. I think that it's much more productive if Karen Crawford Moore comes out and says, I'm a chef. I'm a chef, and I work with different types of people. Let me give you an example. Now, Karen's going to come out. She's going to talk about someone whose spouse died. They're diabetic. Anybody who has had an older parent where one parent has passed away, they know that there is a serious problem going on. Forget that there's a health issue going on. If you're now cooking for one, many times they will forget to eat, which is a serious issue. I mean, I can't comprehend that, but I know it happens. I watched my mother-in-law go through it. So if they have health issues, it becomes an issue again. They're just not quite so cognizant of what they should or shouldn't eat. They just kind of give up because they don't care. They miss their spouse, and they make serious mistakes. So it would be better if Karen came on and said, I'm a chef and I work with all types of people. And let me give you an example. Here was Sally. Her spouse had passed. She was a diabetic. I went in and sat down with her. We went over a list of foods that she liked, foods that she didn't like. We came to an arrangement where I would come in and I would prepare meals for her for 2 weeks, put them in her freezer, and now Sally could pull out a meal and reheat it and have exactly what she was supposed to have. She doesn't have to worry about shopping for the stuff. She doesn't have to worry about, is it the right amount she's supposed to have? It's all done for her. So if she were going to give you a small little piece of a problem someone had and how she solved it and change it up, don't repeat Sally's story next week. Next week, tell me about somebody who said, hey, listen, I had a bunch of women and they all wanted to get together and have a little exercise class together. And they decided that I was going to come in and prepare meals for all of them for the week. And they were all going to pick them up and take them home. And this was going to be what they were going to. She could give a different story every week. And you know what's going to happen? Nobody thinking about picking up the dry cleaning. They're going to be listening to what is Karen talking about. So many of you here, I could spend an hour with you and I could tell you to pull out certain things that you're telling me about what you did. And I could show you how you could hone in on different pieces of what you did every single time. And people will listen to what you're saying. You have to educate them on what you do. Fred, you have your hand up.
I just want to make a comment on what you just said. Be very, very careful, everyone, because you get Lynn involved, and all of a sudden you'll be moving along at like 10 miles an hour, and you think you're going to take her to 25 miles an hour, but no, she takes you to light speed just like that. So you got to be really, really careful, because otherwise you'll be moving faster than you ever thought. And if you ain't ready for it, it can be jarring. So be careful. She'll make you go way, way fast.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you an example real quick. I had a woman back in Illinois when I was doing my meetings in person, came up to me and said she had never networked before. She didn't know what to do, and she felt intimidated to come into a group. I used to have 100 people. I said to her, do not be intimidated. I will stand right beside you, and I will make this comfortable. Hi, Erica. How are you? Good to have you with us. She's at work. Pay attention to where you're driving. She's driving people in a bus. Don't be hitting anything, Erica. You keep one foot near the street in case you get excited here. So let me give you an example of what this woman did. And I'm going to tell you her company. She was with Melaleuca. And I didn't know about Melaleuca, but she taught me about it. And I'm going to tell you something. She said, I'm so nervous. She tried the first time to give a 1-minute commercial and tried to spit out everything you could possibly think of about Melaleuca. How all natural it was. And it's this and it's that. And the company started here and this. Blah, 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 blah. And nobody could remember any of what she said. It was too much information, too fast. Said to her, let's relax. I want you to take one item at a time. Now, we're at a little bit of a disadvantage. The information I gave her will not 100% work here. It will work to a point. But I told her, I said, she told me her shampoo had no tar in it. How many of you knew you were even washing your hair with tar anyway? I didn't know there was tar in the shampoos on the shelf, but there is. Who the heck would be putting tar on their head? So I said to her, go buy a bottle of that shampoo with the tar. You're never going to use it, just buy it. It becomes a prop for you. Bring a bottle of your shampoo. I want you to explain to people. Take a permanent magic marker and circle the part that says tar on the bad shampoo. And then you want to circle the ingredients you've got. And you want to give them a quick little comparison of the two products, and then you want to pass your product around so everyone can open the bottle, encourage them to do it, let them smell it, and let them put a little bit on their fingertips and feel it. Because it was not a watered-down product. It was a quality product. And you wanted to feel the consistency of that shampoo. Listen, I bought shampoo that you dumped out. I swear to you, I thought my husband watered it down. It was terrible. I bought some that it was just horrible. And some, oh my God, some had this smell. I thought, I'm not putting that on my head. But this smelled beautiful and it felt rich. It felt luxurious, like the stuff they use in salons. I said they have to see it, feel it, and smell it. She began to do exactly what I told her to do, and she went right to the top of her company. She did very, very well. And she said, everything I've learned about networking, I learned from you. So I want you guys to remember, you can't feel and smell here, but you can talk about how you've helped people with these different products or your services that you've got. Still waiting for you to come on here one day and tell me how to make Brussels sprouts that taste better. You keep telling me there's a way, but I don't know it.
I'm working on a
I think
special presentation for
you
you.
should come here one day and teach us how to eat Brussels sprouts in a healthy way. And I'll tell you something else I'd like to learn from you. Because my husband is now facing getting his gallbladder out, I'd like to learn how to make things with no fat. But I learned a couple of things about that. So see, somebody like Chris to help me. I was making a roasted whole chicken the other day in the oven. And okay, I learned to cook from my mother. I'm used to taking butter and putting all the spices and seasonings in it and pushing it up underneath the skin of the breast of the chicken and letting it drizzle down through all the meat. Can't do that anymore. You can't have butter. Can't spread oil on everything. So you know what I did? I went out and researched it, and I found something that sounds terrible. I dare you to try it. It said put applesauce up underneath the skin of the chicken. Doesn't sound good, and the only applesauce I had was these small little containers of strawberry applesauce, and I said, what the heck? Let's try it. What do we have to lose? So I pushed a whole container full up underneath of each breast of the chicken. It was the juiciest and best tasting chicken you ever had. Now I had to get the stuff to stick to the skin to season that, even though I knew he wasn't going to eat the skin. But I found that there is spray pan that has 0 fat in it. You only want to spray it lightly, enough to make it hold the seasoning on whatever it is you're cooking, whether it be fish, anything. So there are ways to do it, but I think, Chris Pratt, you and Karen Crawford Moore could teach people a lot more in little 30-second and 1-minute chunks to where they want to have conversations with you afterwards about it. So I think that's the best advice I can give you guys. Don't listen to these people who are trying to sell you their little workshop on how to summarize your 30-second commercial. Just come right out and share what you know. Share what you know. When I hear Kelly Kellum tell me about saving people huge amounts of money, and she doesn't tell the same story all the time, those are stories you're going to remember. Those are important stories. So, guys, I would say throw out your pre-programmed 30-second or 1-minute commercials and go get yourself something fresh that changes. So with that said, does anybody have anything they want to share about your 30-second or 1-minute commercial? Or any ideas that you want to share that would help people? Come on, I got the brightest of the bright people in this room here. Anita.
I forgot to share my phone number. I keep doing that every week, but if people wanted to reach me.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
If people wanted to reach me about my health and wellness business or pronunciation coaching, I can be reached at 630-854-6664. Once again, my phone number is 630-854-6664. Thank you.
And let's talk about that. Oh, man, the first week we did this, you got to remember, we're on the radio. People are not seeing you. We'll be on PHred TV someday. You watch. We'll get on there. But here's the point. When you're giving them your phone number, I hear some people do it like they're speed dialing. Stop it. There's people on the other end trying to find a pencil and write it down, or maybe they're going to hear it on replay and they're going to write it down. Say it slowly. Stop after the first 3 numbers. Give it a pause. Take a breath. Give them the next 3, and then give them the last 4. You can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, they didn't get it. They didn't get it. Fred.
I just want to, since we are live on PHred, I just want to say that PHred TV will not happen in 2024.
We don't care when it happens.
I know, but, just
I didn't
2020.
plan on winning the lottery this year, but I'm still going to play, but I know it'll happen next year.
Yeah, you're right. It will happen next year, but that's between me and you and anyone who remembers it.
Something to look forward to. takes 9 months to grow a baby. You're growing the PHred TV baby.
Wow, I can't argue with that logic. I really can't. I want to, but I can't.
Okay, that works. That works. Oh my God, guys, I heard a funny story the other day when we're talking about food. I heard some lady walked into a restaurant or something. She was looking at some really bad sandwich. She probably shouldn't have been eating to begin with if she was watching her weight. But she looked at him and she said to the guy, "Oh, that sandwich looks absolutely wonderful. Do you have a healthier version of that sandwich that's less calories that I could purchase?" And he said, "Yes, just a minute." He brought out the whole sandwich, cut it in half, and gave it half of it to her. Said, "There it is. It's half the calories." Oh, funny or what? Okay, guys. So who can tell me now another thing that we could do maybe in our 30-second or 1-minute commercial that might help? Anybody got ideas? No?
Well, having the mentality that nobody's coming to a networking group to buy anything, but it's, basically saying some of the things that you do and might provide, so it's somebody else that they might know in order to be able to, but, being at least, don't give them too much, just give them enough that they can actually, it might be worth doing a one-on-one with this person. I can learn a little bit more.
You're the coming attraction. Remember how many times you've gone to a movie. They didn't show you the trailer and give you the whole movie. They gave you just enough of a tease so that you would want to come back. So, Kelly, you have a question or a comment? Oh,
Sorry, I'm muted. I don't have a question, but I was on a mastermind yesterday, and they commented that we should consider at least starting our 30-second or 60-second commercial with what the prospective client is going to want to hear. For example, I used to say, I'm a college admissions strategist and I guide blah, 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 blah. You notice that today I did give my name and title, but I started with questions that dragged people through the pain of why they might want to hire somebody like myself, and then went to the solution. And I was trying that out for the first time today. But
actually, this you keep it short. You want to make it to where you're going to get them on the hook. Hey, I specialize in helping kids get financing and get access into college. Give me a call and I'll tell you how I was able to save $120,000 for this couple and got their kid involved in a school that he had no idea he wanted to be a part of, but he was able to get in. Boom, done. I want to know how you can save me $120,000 right now.
That did it. So, Kelly, you're right. Changing it up today was a smart thing to do. Very, very good, Kelly. Very good. Deanna, I can't see you, but I can see a hand floating around in the sky, so I think that's you.
Yes, ma'am. Rob Holman, you are a naughty boy interrupting Miss Kelly like that. She has a beautiful voice. I love to hear it. But no, my point, what I was going to say was somebody who specializes in networking once told me, don't start with your name. 9 out of 10 of us want to say our name as soon as we start on our section of the call, but most of us have just been introduced by the host. So people have already heard your name. Reiterate it at the end of what you're saying instead.
Very good, Deanna. I like that. I'm going to have to steal that one. That was a good one. All right, guys. We got about 9 minutes left before Fred's going to throw us off the air. So I want to talk to you guys again about how important having that will is. You know, guys, I do Legal Shield and ID Shield. I don't usually talk too much about it, but I did say that I was going to start using part of the time at the end to be able to share that with you guys. You know, when my husband was in the hospital, guys, there was one wall in the intensive care unit where I saw people die every day. And many times it was a young person. And usually it was a young person on a motorcycle with no helmet. People who drove with no helmets. I mean, we all like that freedom of having the wind fly in our hair for those of us that have hair. But I think that you need to understand how dangerous that can be, especially if you're in an urban area. If you're out maybe in the country, maybe not so much, but really in an urban area, a lot of them want to be taken serious on the road, and some of them drive very dangerously. They weave in and out of traffic, and even when cars are coming to a stop, I will see on an expressway and slowing down, they will go between the cars, which to me is very crazy that they're even doing that. If you want to be treated like a vehicle, like a car, stay in the lane like a car, because it's those erratic movements that people can't predict, and then accidents happen. So, guys, when things like that happen, you want to make sure you've got that will and living will and medical directive in place. That's important. How many people have not revisited their will and they have since gotten a divorce and don't realize that the will that they have in place has an ex-spouse as the person who will be the executor to that will? They may not want that anymore. Doesn't hurt to revisit it. With Legal Shield, they will revisit it and redo it at no cost for you. They will update it every year. So maybe this year you're a broke, starving artist. Next year you win the lottery. You have more to give away. There will also be young people who will say, I don't own anything. I don't need a will. What am I going to leave behind? Sometimes we leave this world in a way we didn't expect, and a lawsuit will come about, and there will be a large financial settlement, and you won't be here to know who that goes to, and the state may decide where that money goes, and it might not be where you would have wanted it to go. So address those things in your will. You know, should there be any kind of an estate? This is where I want my estate to go. I'm going to tell you a quick story about that. I had a woman who was impregnated by a gentleman. He left after the baby was born. His name was listed as the father on the birth certificate. He never came around to see the child. He never participated in the child at all. The child, the young son, and his mother were very close. I had approached them about getting a will and a living will and the medical directive done. They didn't see any need. The young boy just kept saying, I don't own anything. And this is what makes me tell you guys these stories. And at the age of 19, he was hit by a semi, and he was killed. And the mother scraped together a little money and went to see an attorney who took her on a contingency basis that if she won the case, they would get a third of the settlement. If they lost the case, she would owe nothing. It was the only way she felt she could afford to bring a lawsuit. She did, and she won a very, very huge settlement, guys, several $1 million. But that was splashed in the Chicagoland area across the front pages of the two major newspapers, that this had happened and what he got. So who do you think shows up? Daddy shows up, who the young boy never knew. And because his name was on the birth certificate and there was no will, the state of Illinois decided that he got half. Now, a third of the settlement went to the attorney. The balance that was left, Daddy got half. The mother got the other half, but out of her half, she had to pay off all the expenses that the attorneys had incurred. So she ended up with next to nothing because there wasn't a will. And the will would have cost them nothing, $30 to get a plan and get those documents in place. That's nothing, guys. You can't even speak to an attorney for $30. So I say to you, please, it would make me feel so much better if I knew that people took advantage of this and got those. Did you have to keep the plan? If you don't see value, you don't have to. But I promise you, with all this in place, you will find that it will constantly save you tons and tons of money. But I would highly advise you to think about that. It's powerful to be able to have it. Any questions on any of that, guys? Nope. Nope. All right, guys. We got 4 minutes that we can talk about anything you'd like to talk about. Anybody has something they want to talk about? Gigi, I saw your hand up earlier.
No, I just wanted to know, is Legal Shield good for business as well as personal?
Absolutely. We have a business plan for business owners. We actually have an option. We have a business plan for those who have a standalone business by themselves, and this is a business outside of your home. We have it at 3 different levels depending upon how many services you want. They start as low as $49 a month. I tell people if you've got a standalone business, you probably spend more than that on the toilet paper for the bathroom. So it's a good investment. It includes collection letters. We keep none of the money that we collect. Many of them would pay far more than that just for the collection letters. It helps them with hiring and firing decisions, the misclassification of employees, which if they do that can cost them their business. So it's powerful, and government regulation. Those are the three biggest reasons. So those plans are at three different levels. Many of you have businesses that you run from your home. If you have a business that you run from your home, we sell you a personal plan to cover you personally. We use a rider, a home business rider for $15, has to be added to another plan, to the $30 plan. That makes everything tax deductible. Mr. CPA would know that. Tax deductible, guys. So Kevin, that's powerful for you to know for your clients. And consequently, guys, it will give you collection letters as well. But your personal plan will cover you for any W-2 income if you're audited. And the rider will cover you for any 1099 income or rental income should you be someone who has rental properties or Airbnb your rentals that you're using that you own. All of that is important. So when someone has rental apartments or something that they have, I heard somebody on here talk about that. I don't know if they're still here. But when there's rental income, sometimes there's evictions that need to be done or collection letters for rent that need to be done. All of that is included. Excellent question, Gigi. Anyone else have anything they'd like to know? Okay, guys, looking for
Stay
those
tuned
free
for
tools. I have some great
come back next week
opportunities
for
that I'd like
another
to put in front of
great
them if they're
episode of Lunch
Yeah.
with Lynn.
Yeah,
If
I'm
you're
just
tired of
going back to our
networking
previous
nightmares,
conversation
come
about
and see us each week.
you know, different approaches.
Lighting up the night, we're gonna dance like it's our last night alive. Hands up in the air, we're reaching for the sky, no looking back now, baby. We're ready to fly, the beat keeps pumping, flowing through our veins. We're losing ourselves in this electrifying game. We're drifting down, we feel so alive with every move we make. We're gonna take this time with his music, taking over the world. No limits or boundaries, so let our dreams unfurl. The rhythm is our heartbeat.
Hey, it is Ryan Seacrest. There's something so thrilling about playing Chumba Casino. Maybe it's the simple reminder that with a little luck, anything is possible. ChumbaCasino.com has hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new game releases each week. Play for free anytime, anywhere for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
In the world of architecture, engineering, and construction, every detail counts. That's why over 3 million professionals trust Bluebeam for PDF markups, digital workflows, and project collaboration. Whether you're an architect, engineer, or project manager, Bluebeam's easy-to-use software helps you communicate clearly, collaborate in real time, and get more done faster. And the best part, you can try Bluebeam for free for 14 days. No credit card required. Visit Bluebeam.com today.